dedicato la mia vita ai momenti più felici, ad inseguire un sogno, il mio sogno. Quante volte mi hai deluso, non importa, io ci credo e vivo il mio sogno. Bari, grande amore, Bari, unica e sola, Bari nel nostro cuore, non ti lasceremo da sola, facci sognare ancora, facci gridare ancora, facci gridare ancora, Bari nel nostro cuore, non ti lasceremo da sola mai. Quanti viaggi con gli amici, tanti posti sconosciuti, tutti uniti innamorati di un sogno.
All right, welcome everyone to a brand new edition of the Staten Island Soccer Report, coming to you live tonight from the studios of CTV. Alongside me, Vito is back. We found Vito.
Well, you know why I'm here.
Okay.
I love girls, 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 girls.
That's
I do
it.
adore.
It's all about that. We're going to get
Easy.
into that in a minute, but I would definitely want to thank Kenny on the other side of the glass. Without him, there's no show tonight. Thank you, Kenny. And, of course, Brian and Guy that's been here in the past helping us out. So, Yeah, we're gonna just dedicate this. Obviously, look, a lot of stuff going on. Right, the World Cup just wrapped up.
Sure.
We know there's other things going on. We're gonna save that for another show. But I think I want to just dedicate this hour to the Women's World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
All the nations that were involved, especially the United States with the women's team. And, this is plenty to talk about. We're
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
for
start
sure.
from day one. We got all the numbers here. We got everything.
Alex Morgan and Rapinoe ended up on the same amount of goals. They scored
Yeah,
the
I
same
think
amount
they
of goals.
was, right, they were tied, but I think she had assists. But that's
Yeah.
at the end, we'll wrap that up at the end. So, we predicted that they were going to win. I mean, really,
Yeah.
the U.S., I mean, if they were to lose the World Cup, I mean, it would have been all on them, I
Sure,
think,
sure.
right?
No,
So-
we did say, the U.S. would storm through it, but we
Yeah.
also mentioned the Italians would do well, and they did.
Right.
They did have a
Yeah,
good, productive World Cup. Unfortunately, they didn't go further, but still, I don't think many people thought they were going to go that far.
Yeah, listen, we mentioned it a month ago when before the World Cup started that the Italians, I said that they'd be the sleeper team.
Sure.
Nobody had any
Yeah.
trust in them, and they surprised a couple of teams, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Although they should have beat that Brazil team also, but it's okay. We got through, and again, nothing but you build from this,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You gotta
Maybe
build
one
from
year
that.
you'll see the Italians get to the final and meet the United States.
Oh, we'll talk about the United States in a minute, but let's. Where were you last show? We missed you. What happened? We
I
sent
must have
out.
been busy. So.
We sent out an SOS. We were looking for you. But okay. So
must-
you're back, and Frank, if he's out there somewhere in TV land, we'll see you. I guess the next show. It's Frank Tricomi. All right. Let's start. What do you got there? Want to start with the scores? We're going to
Yeah.
start from the beginning.
Okay.
We'll dissect this World Cup on the
Sure.
women's side, and
So
We'll
the
go from
opening game, John, France beat the Korea Republic 4-0.
right. I mean, no surprise there, right? France is the
Hosting.
host, right?
And then Germany beat China 1-0.
That was a good game,
Mhm.
right? Tight game. China's won it.
Spain beat South Africa 3-1. Norway over Nigeria 3-0.
Yep.
Italy beat the Australians 2-1.
That was a last-second goal by the Italians, I
Mhm.
believe, and I think extra time that
Mhm.
wrapped up that. After that result, that's when maybe they opened up some eyes,
Sure.
right?
Brazil, Jamaica 3-0 for Brazil. England over Scotland 2-1. Argentina and Japan scoreless. Canada
Right.
over Cameroon 1-0.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the Canadians. I thought they would, have a better showing than what they did.
Netherlands just getting by New Zealand 1-0. Sweden beat Chile 2-0. United States hammered Thailand 13-0.
So what do you think about that?
Well, that one
there's
is-
a lot of talk about that.
That one is goals, 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 I do adore. That's what we could say on that one.
So, yeah, I don't think there was any kind of disrespect going on, by them scoring all those
Mhm.
goals. You play the game, right? Why do you play the game?
Sure, to
Score.
score goals.
There you go.
Nigeria
so-
over Korea Republic 2-0. Germany over Spain 1-0. France over Norway 2-1. Australia over Brazil 3-2. South Africa loses to China 1-0.
Okay.
And then we got Japan over Scotland 2-1. Italy, oh my goodness, 5-0 over Jamaica.
Well, yeah, Jamaican, the Jamaican women's side, probably not the first
Mhm.
time in the World
Yeah.
Cup, right? So,
England again by Argentina 1-0. Netherlands over Cameroon 3-1.
Right.
Canada over New Zealand 2-0. Sweden over Thailand 5-1. And the United States beat Chile 3-0. June 16th was that one.
right. That's a big difference than from
Mhm.
the 13-0 game.
Sure. China, Spain scoreless. South Africa loses to Germany 4-0.
Right.
Nigeria loses to France 1-0. Korea Republic loses to Norway 2-1. Jamaica loses to Australia 4-1. And Italy just lost to Brazil nearly 1-0 penalty.
Yeah, that was the PK, which you don't think that was a PK, but
England over Japan 2-0. Scotland, Argentina knotted at 3. Cameroon 2-1 over New Zealand. Netherlands 2-1 over Canada.
right.
Sweden loses to the United States. That was the opening round.
Yeah,
2-0.
that was the last game of the group stage.
Nice game, yeah. That was a You know, when we spoke about the show we did in the preview, that we said that might be a possible
Yeah.
final. It almost happened.
Yep.
Chile downed Thailand 2-0, and that was all the matches.
That game with the United States, Sweden was the clincher for the division, for the group.
For the
That's
group,
what,
yeah.
that's what clinched it.
Mhm.
All right, so any upsets in the group stage? Any teams, I think Argentina, right?
Okay.
They made a big comeback in their last game to try and get through, but I think Nigeria went ahead. I think it might have been a goals difference.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you got over there? Anything interesting?
have
know
is,
I know there's a lot you want to say.
Yeah, well, you know, the stuff that I came up with was, you know, they spoke about the VAR. Let's see here. With England and the big showpiece approaching, they spoke about we're not doing VAR chat here, but actually watching goalkeepers trying to save penalties without encroaching is really a weird sensation, and
Yep.
it's fun and hell. They've gotten good at it quickly. Just ask Steph Houghton. Cameroon game. That Cameroon game, this World Cup has provided some of the most surreal football watching experiences of my life, and England's round of 16 game against Cameroon might be at the top of the list. If they've
Yep.
just stopped playing and demand the referee explain her VAR decision, that would have been one thing. The near walk-off in the second half, the Cameroon coach appearing to accuse the referee of bias at full time, the tears, that was all very different. So. And then also about the Italians, the hipsters knew that Italy would be a real force in this tournament, but having been put in a group which featured two teams in the top 10 of the FIFA World Rankings, the fact that Italy ranked 16 coming into the tournament, finished top of the group and beat Australia, that was a surprise. Aurelia Galli, Christina Girelli, and Barbara
So
Bonasegna were
yeah,
one of the
why is it a
more
surprise?
complete.
Why
I
is it a
guess who you
surprise?
talk to.
Well, because maybe they haven't been around for
Yeah,
20 years. right?
exactly.
Okay.
So they said one of the more complete attacking units in the competition, and the way they cruised past China, because China was a dominant force in the past World Cup. So,
Right.
you
Well-
know, they beat a team that went far in the
Right,
past.
had experience.
In the
yeah.
round of 16, put down a marker for the rest of the knockouts, or
Right.
they might have if the Netherlands if the Netherlands they hadn't gone down 2-0 in the next round. See you in 2021 for the
Yeah.
Italians.
Okay, yeah, I mean, and with them, as far as the Italians go, national team, they're going to just build off of this.
Yeah, of
That's all you
course.
could do
Experience.
is build. Right. And you
Experience.
got the top teams supporting them, right?
Mhm.
In Italy, you got Juve, Milan, Roma,
Mm-hmm.
right? Those are the top clubs, and they're
Sure.
supporting the women's side now.
Mhm.
So yeah, look out for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get out of the kitchen, get onto the field. Let's go. No, it's a joke. Just a joke. So what else you got there? I know you got some
Let's see, Thailand.
equal.
That Thailand game, never seen anything like it. Not on TV, certainly not in person.
Yeah.
Not even on FIFA. The U.S. went into the half 3-0 up, pretty average Thailand team. Everyone was pretty happy. The reporters all had their match pieces angled and half
Yeah.
written. 10 second half goals.
Okay.
A second half goal once every 270 seconds, John. Of the last 45 minutes, Alex Morgan scored 5 times. Astonishing.
Well, she scored. She didn't win the golden boot.
yeah.
That's what they call it, right?
Yeah,
For the most
correct,
goals.
Correct.
She's only scored 5 goals. How
Mhm.
many total? 6?
6, yeah.
It's 5 in one game in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
first game.
Yeah.
So I mean, but she had a couple assists,
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
and she did score that
She
one
scored the goal
header.
against England when she made the gesture with the T.
That was the game winner.
Yeah.
So that meant everything. That
Yeah.
got them through, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she's a clutch player, absolutely. You know. So what are your thoughts on?
So the best player, let's see, went home early. Alex Morgan and Eileen White are sat at the top of the World Cup goal scoring charts with
Mhm.
6 goals apiece going into the Sunday's final and Saturday's bronze medal match.
right.
But they weren't the World Cup stars with the most goals in June. Bear with me. Sam Kerr scored 5 in the tournament, all in the group stage before her Australia team
Right.
crashed out on penalties in the round of 16. Then she went back to the NWSL and banged in a hat-trick for the Chicago Red Stars. Maybe
Yeah.
there's something about how one player can stand out in the modeling team, but Kerr's individual performances might have been the best in the tournament. She's only 25. Watch out in 2023.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's only going to grow, I think. Right? We got the round of 16 here.
Yeah.
I mean, on the women's side, you know, it's going to get a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these countries are going to close the gap a little bit. So the U.S., if they want to stay on top and they want to win it again, they got to make sure they continue to improve and bring up, because you got players that are probably going to retire off
Mhm.
this team, right?
And they had a
Um,
parade in New York.
Yeah, we'll talk about the parade. The round of 16 we have here, right? That started a month ago.
Yeah.
All right, here's some scores from the round of was that the first game? Was it-
June 17th.
Was it? Yep. Okay.
China-
Those are the scores. from
China, Spain, scoreless 0-0.
the- Yeah.
South Africa lost to Germany 4-0. France over Nigeria 1-0. And then we have Korea losing to Norway 2-1. Jamaica
Yeah.
losing to Australia 4-1. Yeah, we went over this. And then
Okay.
Brazil, yeah, we went over these
Yeah.
already.
So
These we did, yeah.
the round of 16. Here we go. Here we go. Round of 16. There's your round of 16 scores,
Okay. Round
Okay.
of 16.
right?
Germany, yep,
Yep.
over Nigeria 3-0. Norway,
Now-
Australia.
Hold on. The Germany, Nigeria, first time, right?
Yeah, first time that they got that far.
So nothing to be ashamed of, I
Yeah.
guess, for them, right?
Correct.
And the Germans are supposed to
Yeah.
actually win it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They were one of the countries that was supposed to win it. Okay.
Norway 1-1 Australia, but then they went to
Penalties?
overtime.
Penalties?
Yeah, it could have been penalties.
just
4-1.
4-1.
4-1, yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
that was the final after the regulation. Then England over Cameroon 3-0.
Right.
France over Brazil 2-1. United States beating Spain 2-1. Sweden over Canada 1-0. The Italians beating China. I think that was a big victory. Netherlands over Japan
Yeah.
2-1.
Okay.
Then we go to the quarterfinals. England over Norway 3-0. The United States edging France 2-1
Okay.
in France. Netherlands over the Italians 2-0, and we spoke about it was
Yeah.
0-0 at the half.
That was, yeah. And I just thought, in that game, they just ran out of gas,
Mhm.
kind of.
Sweden over Germany 2-1. That set the stage for the semifinals. United States just beating England 2-1. England could not score the penalty at the end. It was actually
I guess.
to Vincenzo.
Yeah, I guess he's having problems with the phone line, maybe. All right, we'll continue.
So,
Okay.
United States, United States keeper just,
Okay, yeah.
saving the saving the team
Yeah.
from victory with that penalty at the end. That could
Right.
have forced overtime.
Yes, Vincenzo, can you quick get?
We have problem with the other phone there.
What's the problem?
I call and I could
Nobody's in the
hear
studio?
you guys talking, but you guys cannot hear me talking.
Oh, we can't. Yeah, we didn't hear him.
We didn't even know he was on the air.
You want him to call back? Okay, try it back. Try the line back, Vincenzo.
Okay, be sure, Brian, because I
Yeah.
called before and they said that the answer machine is full. Try again.
Okay, try again. Kenny's there.
yeah,
Kenny's there.
Kenny.
Okay, Kenny's here.
Thank you.
Sweden over England 2-1.
The famous Vincenzo.
So Sweden over England. We spoke about maybe England. You said England. There was a possibility you might think that
Well-
they might go to the final.
Yeah, England was, that's what. Well, don't forget,
That
4
was
years
the third
ago,
place
they
match.
finished third place. They
Yeah.
finished, so they
Yeah.
wanted to try and win it this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so that set the stage, for United States and Netherlands, because Netherlands beat Sweden,
Right.
which a lot of people thought Sweden might get to the final.
Yes.
So the team that Italy lost to got to
Right.
the final. So that's pretty
Right.
impressive.
Yep. And I was
And
glad
third
that they.
place, Sweden beat England to get the third. England got
All right,
fourth.
52 matches played.
Yeah.
All right, for the Women's World Cup, 52 matches. Megan Rampone was the Golden Boot,
Yeah.
right? She had 6 goals, right? Tied with Morgan, but I think she won it with the assists.
Mhm.
They give them the assist. So also Ellen White from England,
Yeah, yeah.
she had 6 goals.
Yeah.
All right.
Johnny, can you hear me?
There you go.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, we try again.
Okay, we got Vincenzo on the telephone, the famous Vincenzo from St. Francis College in Brooklyn. Vincenzo, how are you?
Well, Johnny, hot summer.
Yeah, well, it's going to get hotter now this
Yeah.
week.
100 degrees.
When I called before, I could hear you guys talking about the
Yeah.
Italian women national soccer team.
Yeah, Vincenzo, we're going to dedicate this hour tonight to the women's soccer only. So anything you have to say about the women's side? We're
Well,
here.
Johnny, I did watch all the games.
Nice, beautiful.
So, and I tell you, surprising team had to be the Italian team. Not because, that's our country, but show
Right.
everybody that together they could do a lot more than
People thought.
alone. You could
Yeah.
do more together. And because of the idea was to bring the bulk of the team. They were from a Juventus club.
Well, what else is new, right?
At least 8 players.
Yep.
They were playing for Juventus, which is good.
Yeah.
This way you don't have to, scatter all over Italy.
Well,
I like that.
the chemistry will be good then. If you have players playing together, the chemistry is good, right?
Yeah, they remember when they came in, they were ranked way up there.
Yeah.
Then when they came out, they at least
Top
I would say,
top 10.
maybe top 10.
Yeah, top 10 for sure. So Vincenzo, like you said, it doesn't matter because we support the Italian team. Good or bad, we're going to speak the truth of how they play. And I'll give you an example. The United States men's team, and I don't want to go to the men's, they played in the Gold Cup, the final, and they lost at home.
Basically.
And,
Right, so-
and John, they dominated too. The other door should have scored. They
Yeah,
had a
the
couple of
next
good
the next show we're going to get on the men's team, but for today, for this show, it's praising the women's
Well, they
side.
stole the show, John. They stole the headlines the next day because,
Yeah.
it would have been a clean sweep if they could have done
right.
what, because they played at night.
Well-
United States won, women's won in the morning. And
The thing is, Vincenzo, when the men play the World Cup, nothing else is on. There's no games. The women play the final, and they want to put 2 other finals on at the
Yeah,
same
there
time.
was-
So to me, that's disrespect.
Well, that was, you had the Copa America final
Yeah.
and then the CONCACAF Gold
yeah, so
Cup final.
that should
Also,
not.
they have the African Cup.
Now,
And
the
that's
African Cup is going on now. We this week.
This week's the
Yeah,
final.
this week. Yeah,
Simultaneously.
Senegal is going to be playing Algeria in the
Algeria,
final.
yeah.
That should be
So
interesting.
anyway,
But
Vincenzo,
you know what, John?
getting back to the women. Let's not jump over. Let's not jump over. All right, I want to keep this strictly on the women's, Vincenzo. I just try to make a point. Regardless of the team, good or bad, we're going to talk about it. If they played bad, we would, mention
Well,
that.
Johnny, they play such a great tournament.
Yeah.
They usually, if you got eliminated in the quarterfinals or semifinals,
Mm-hmm.
when you go back to your country, you go back to work, you go back to normal, right?
Yeah.
But the Italian girls team, when they're back to Italy, the president of the Italian Republic, they brought the team to Rome, Quirinale.
Right.
And they got rewarded. They gave them like certificates or
Yeah.
whatever. And that's very rare when you don't qualify
Right.
for quarterfinal, semifinal. You get called at in front of the Italian president, and that was really emotional.
That's it.
And because they did such a great job,
Yep.
the Italian team in Italy.
Yep. Right.
The percentage of people sign up for a youth club, it went up like almost 100%.
Yeah, I mean that's great. That's good to hear, and they're only going to get better, right?
You know what I was
Sure.
gonna tell you guys? It goes back to when I was playing soccer in high school and college. The women's team, John Vincenzo, was always the ones winning the trophies, winning. In Townville, I remember players like Rachel Cohen and.
Yeah.
Those were the teams that were dominating. And college, the same thing. I was at CSI. The women's were the ones winning all the, getting
Right.
all the glory.
Yeah.
And it starts from there, and then it goes to the professional
Well,
level.
just like Roy said on the Facebook side, they're finally starting to put some money into the game on the women's side. So it's only going to grow. We hope it grows and it gets stronger, every year.
You mentioned a good point, John, before the show. You told me that, about the equal pay situation.
Yeah.
You said if the seats don't get filled,
Well, that's the thing,
that's
right?
what you meant.
That's why if you notice, Vincenzo, the women's team on the United States, they're all over the place now with all these shows and stuff, right? This morning, I think they were in Times Square, and the first thing they say to you, like the fans have a part, right? They want you to go out and support the club teams, right? You got to support the club teams. You got to go out there and watch them. Go to purchase the tickets, uniforms, whatever it is, and that's how it starts. So.
Well, Johnny, remember the FIFA is the most richest organization in the world.
He's right
Yeah.
about
If they
that.
want to, I mean, especially now. Most of, I would say all the games in France,
Right.
most of them were sold out.
Yeah, that's to see the French team. But if you went to a game, maybe I don't know, let's say Nigeria and I don't know if Jamaica were
China.
playing. Right. No, China's a pretty good. They're a pretty good draw.
they got big draw.
But maybe Jamaica and Nigeria. I mean, are you going to sell it out?
Because remember, people they went to France on vacation. While on vacation, you plan your schedule vacation in advance.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you talk about a small country
Right.
who's got money to go on vacation for a month and this and that. So that sometimes it's planning stage that counts a lot.
Purchase the jerseys. Get the jerseys instead of seeing
That
these.
is buy the jersey. That's how you support.
Right.
Did you tell?
Also,
I'm still waiting for my 3 jerseys. I ordered them last week after the final. I'm still waiting for them to come in the mail. So
Did you tell Vincenzo who you ran into in the parking lot from New York 1?
no, go ahead. That's
Oh,
that's up to
you
you.
mentioned it.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Does he know Amanda Farinacci?
I don't think he knows.
No, go ahead, tell me, John.
From New York 1. John says, you know who that was? In the parking lot, as we were parking our cars before the show, he goes, Vito, that's Amanda Farinacci from New York 1 in the parking lot. He
All
tells
right.
me-
So also Vincenzo, television. Roy mentions TV money. I think ESPN just signed a deal with the women's league. Okay, so they got to be on television too. So let's hope it continues to grow.
Hey, John, remember, when the potato is hot,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
when you start moving.
But Vincenzo, it was hot 4 years ago too, but then it kind of died out. See, but they got to keep this thing going. We can't just talk about it. You got action. It's got.
No, I think also the competition got better since the
Well,
last
You know
4
what we
years.
need? We know what we need,
Yeah.
Vincenzo. We need John to be like some kind of a executive member of FIFA for the United States women. I think if that happens, then you're going to
Listen,
see it grow.
listen,
if John gets some power in that position.
It's not just women. It's not just the women's game. It's soccer in general.
Back in general.
Right, but right now we're focusing on the women because of the World Cup and stuff, and they deserve it. Not only the United States women's team for
bragging
winning
rights,
it.
bragging rights. Because,
Not just the U.S. team for winning it. I think just soccer on the women's side and as a whole. Okay, we need to grow that. So that's why the show was just about women's soccer and for tonight. So, what can we do, Vincenzo? What can they do?
Well, like I said, they know what amount of money came in this particular tournament, and designate, put aside a couple of $1 million, youth development, more, better stadium, get the people out and marketing the product better.
You got to sell
They can do it.
Yep, you got to sell out the stadiums. The people have to come out. If they do it for the national teams, why they have to do it for the club team. That's it. They got to come out. So Vincenzo, you watched the World Cup. You watched a lot of the games.
I thought the surprising team also was Holland, Netherlands. Netherlands,
Well,
slowly, but if
Weren't they
you
the
It's true.
European
really
champs?
think about Johnny,
They were the European
Netherlands,
Yeah.
they are the European champions.
so Vincenzo, let me just add one more thing. We have Roy from the Facebook page. The Sky Blue. There's a team in New Jersey, Sky Blue. He's saying they should play at Red Bull Arena. I agree with that too, because that's a beautiful soccer, stadium.
Yeah.
Right, so they should put that women's team in that stadium, and maybe you sell more tickets that way too. So, as far as Holland goes, Vincenzo, I don't think they're a surprise to me because they're European champions, right?
Yeah, they were European
So
champions.
they're not a surprise that they made it to the final. So you had the European champion versus the World
Cup.
Right.
That's why, Johnny, you had a huge television they turned out because
Right.
and I thought to be honest with you,
ratings
this
were the highest.
particular tournament compared to the previous one, I think this one is one of the better ones.
Yeah, so it got better from 4 years ago. Yeah, but we're not seeing I don't think. I haven't seen any improvement on the club side, Vincenzo. That's where they're probably lacking a lot.
On the club here.
Right, with the clubs. So the women's club teams they need the support. The fans have to go out, for those games. And I think they're playing now again. Next week they're starting again.
Otherwise, Johnny, MLS, make sure that every team
Yep.
they have a women team.
I'm for it. The MLS should
Yeah.
back up. Yes, they should have a women's team, and they should back them up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, if you put in the middle of the week, Wednesday, by themselves,
Right.
who's gonna, people, they, on TV, they're
Yeah.
up, will watch everything, but if you have to start commuting, traffic,
Yeah.
people, they say, you know what, it's on PR watching.
Listen,
so they have to, by doing, put the game before the MLS men's soccer team, maybe together they could make improvement.
Yeah. So, a good point. What's the MLS got? 20? How many teams?
No, the other one, John, you were talking about
It's even
the
getting
equal
to
pay,
30.
Well, yeah, we spoke a little bit about equal pay. I mean,
men and women. It's not what men makes a year the salary because you're talking about you selling jersey, you selling shoes or whatever. You make like Ronaldo $40 million, right?
Yeah.
And you take a woman only makes it's the when you're representing the country, the men I think they're getting like $5,000 a game, where the women they get $3,000 a game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the equal pay. But the other one, it's based
Fields.
on promotional sale. It's based on stadium, everything else. But the equal pay they were referring to that the men national team they lost against Mexico. Remember you were talking before.
yeah.
And the women they won the World Cup. The women making $3,600 a game, something similar, John. I don't know if it's the two amount. The other one, the men were making $5,000. So they said, let's make equal pay both. You're representing the country, right?
Oh, look, it's got to start with, again, the fans going to the games. That's the first thing. You got to buy the merchandise. Once you start, listen, do you see any Alex Morgan jerseys around?
So far, I only saw one on TV.
Yeah, right. So that's the thing. How many Ronaldo jerseys do you see? How many Messi jerseys do you see? So that's it. 2 names, Messi, Ronaldo. That's it. So now get these other, get the women's jerseys out there. If they start buying it, and then they could get that equal pay.
Johnny, the women's jersey, unless you're a girl, Alex Morgan or Rubino, if you have a daughter, you're gonna buy that jersey.
Well, I think I would wear a Morgan jersey. I would wear one.
See, that's what I'm saying, John. Sometimes you have to put yourself in mind of people.
Just because it's a woman athlete, I mean, I don't think it would make a difference. I mean,
All right. It's just sometimes
I understand what you're saying. You're talking about the men's side. They won't, they won't buy women's. But again, but that's where it counts. That's where you generate the equal pay. You got to sell the tickets, you sell jerseys, you sell merchandise, and everything like that. So.
Did you guys see the tech parade?
No, we were talking about that.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that first, Vincenzo, in a minute. Vincenzo, so any other surprise teams from you?
No, I'm asking Vito. Vito, remember you took a survey, me and you and Johnny.
Yeah.
Who's got the most points? I bet it's Johnny.
I don't know. He was mentioning that. But we did predict Nigeria to get through to get out of the first round. It happened, so we did say that. I remember on the show.
Yeah.
That was something that we were correct on.
Yeah. Good point, Roy. That's a good point. So, any other surprises, Vincenzo?
The surprise were Germany, England, and Spain. I thought that they were better than that.
Yeah. Okay. So, we had 146 goals scored, Vincenzo.
Wow.
146 and 124 yellow cards. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
4 red cards.
Johnny, 4 red cards is not bad.
Not bad for,
No.
we had 52 games, right? So, and the average goal per match is?
Right there, 2.8.
Sound like statistics over here.
almost 3 goals a game, Vincenzo. So, which is not bad, right? That's not bad.
The game, Johnny. That's average, right? Yeah.
Well, that's good because it doesn't put you to sleep. 0-0. You know what I mean?
Right.
And especially in this country, they want to see goals, right? They're used to seeing scoring. They don't like to play that defensive. They don't want to see defensive. All right. So the teams now, we'll go over it with Vincenzo. The group winners, if you want to go over that stuff, the group winners.
Group winners, we have Group A, France.
So let's talk about France, Vincenzo. If there's a disappointing team, country in the World Cup,
Could be France.
I think France did their part. They were not they were not the favorite to win, but they did acceptable, John.
Well, Vincenzo, they're playing home, and any time you're playing home in a World Cup, and you're one of the, I mean, France is an up-and-coming team. They're not the U.S., but they're expected to at least get to the final, but they had to beat the U.S. to do that. So,
Yeah.
Also, Vincenzo, I heard in one of the press conferences before the game, I don't know if you heard this, Vito, that one of the reporters asked Alex Morgan, or I'm not sure if it was Morgan or one of the other players, if they could let the French team win.
No,
All right? So yeah, that's what one of the reporters said, and then she said no. So anyway, Vincenzo, yeah, I think France will probably be one of the bigger disappointments. Maybe Germany too, right?
They won Group B.
They won the group, but they were also supposed to get to the final.
Well, because Germany, every World Cup, they're always there, John.
Right, and then don't forget that also comes in with the men's. On the men's side, they're great,
Yeah.
So it's a soccer country, and the same thing. This is why before the World Cup started, I said that about the Italians, Vincenzo. It's it's in their culture, it's in their blood. Even though they haven't been around for 20 years, right? On the women's side, it's still if they put their mind to it, if this is what they want to do, they're going to come up with a good team.
And they won the group.
Right.
Group C.
And they won the group. I don't think anybody picked them to win the group.
Yeah, that's what the Italian were really. You had the nation. Whenever Italy was playing, you talking about the nation.
Yeah.
Became a standstill. Everybody's watching TV.
Right.
Grandma, grandpa, you name it.
And that's another thing.
Everybody.
That's another thing that's wrong in this country, right? FIFA messed up, I think. Okay, with scheduling 3 finals in one day. That was terrible. Even the U.S. women, they didn't like that either. Okay, they mentioned that's wrong. Okay, so the other thing is, Vincenzo, when your national team is playing, and I'll go back to the men for a second. Right, they were playing in the Gold Cup, right?
Right.
MLS is still playing games. Are you kidding me? Each team.
I thought the same thing. How come they playing? Meanwhile, you have
That's a good
the
point.
game that you.
Tobin Heat. All right, thanks, Roy. Thank you. Yeah, no.
You're missing a couple players. The game should stop. Everything.
Right. So every team is missing the best players because they're on the national team. Meanwhile, the MLS is playing games. That's a joke. To me, that's why it all starts with the national team, the MLS. They're not going to go anywhere. They're never going to go anywhere. Get it right. They have to do things the right way. I think if you go anywhere else, if a national team plays, nobody else is playing.
That's it.
That's it. You shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, John, it's not fair to the club because it's an NYC club. It's not fair to them because now you're taking 3 or 4 players away.
Right.
And now you're playing against a low-standing team.
So
you're going to lose.
So Vito goes to buy a ticket for New York City FC or even the Red Bulls, whatever you like, okay?
Yeah.
And during the Gold Cup, right, you're missing the best players. So you're going to see a team that's basically playing, the bench players,
Sure.
there, right? So again, we spoke about this in the past. They're still getting it
I saw
wrong.
a Gold Cup final one year at Giant Stadium, USA Panama. It was pretty good.
So and again, I don't want to go on too much with the men's, but the United States men's team, they should be beating all these teams in CONCACAF. They should be, but they're not. Okay, including Mexico.
You know what, John?
Remember, Mexico,
That's a good point.
Mexico. Mexico. Is
Well,
not
we know
Mickey Mouse
Mexico.
team.
They've been the kings of CONCACAF for
Okay,
a little
but
bit now.
Vincenzo, they've lost to them so many times, but I'm not gonna get into it. We
But
try.
you know what, John? You mentioned a good point. Even against Guyana, they struggled. Guyana, the first time they were in the the tournament.
Yeah.
And Haiti got to the semis for the first time, so
All right, so anyway, back to the women's. Okay, we kept getting
John doesn't want us to
distracted.
go off topic. He doesn't want.
Parade.
Yeah, no, before we get to the parade.
Group D winner was England, 9 points.
England, right.
Group E winner was Netherlands with 9 points. Group F winner, the United States.
Right. Okay, and that's it for the groups. All right, so
And let's just show them the flyer for the Vincenzo. You can see it. The promotion for
I'm
the
on the phone. I'm not.
Okay. All right. for the show.
yeah, he's
I show it on Facebook Live. This is
All
the
right, so
You know, one book. I'm in telephone.
so Vincenzo, now, the round of 16, when they played Spain 2-1, right? France 2-1. Those were great games.
What about the reporters? You guys had mentioned when on. Did you like the reporters for the women's side, as far as the soccer reporters on?
Well, are you talking about the announcing?
Yeah, the announcers. Well, the
game?
ones after the game, after the post game. You had a couple of them that used to be on the team.
Right.
They were doing
right.
post game.
Right, they were
There
working.
was a
Right.
couple of them,
Okay.
Then
yeah.
there was the English lady, the British lady. She was also
Yeah, he's talking about the commentators for
commentators.
Fox. They work for Fox.
yeah.
Right.
The one
Yeah.
no, but I'm talking about ESPN when they did the post game afterwards. Fox Sports, Fox Sports 1 and 2. They had the
Yeah.
Colby Jones was doing it also for
Right.
both the Colby and
Alex Lalas.
Lawless, Alexi Lawless.
Colby and Donovan.
I think they were doing for the U.S.
Yeah.
The men's side. I
But
think
then when
were
they
doing-
did the post game wrap up, you would see them too.
Yeah.
They would speak about it. So I just want to bring that one up.
Well, Vincenzo, we had some issues with the video replay, right? We had some
Yeah.
issues with the goalkeeping moving, the keepers moving forward before
Okay.
the kick was taken, in the penalty kick. So we had a little, negative talk about that. But then they straightened that out, right? I think the referees did a good job speaking to the keepers and the shooters, right?
Well, the referee can, overall, those ladies, they're in top shape. You see
Yep.
them running all over the place.
Yeah.
And they were calling, really they were taking no nonsense from body.
Yeah.
They were firm and the referee, you can see
Yeah.
that the women, they're ready. They got good
Yeah.
referees, good players. Now let's next step.
Yeah, I mean, and we'd like to see some of the women refereeing maybe the men's teams too, right?
What about, I want to mention Lavelle. She played very well this tournament.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, listen, on the U.S. women's team, if we're going to talk about that team, I mean, for me, I think that's set up to win at least the next 2 World Cups. Vincenzo,
I don't know about the next two, John.
why not? Because they're going to keep growing. They're going to keep bringing up players that.
Well, where is the next site going to
What
be?
is the next site? The really took the word out of my mouth.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if they have announced it yet.
John, you can announce the next site?
It could be
'Cause
Germany?
If you go to Germany or if you go to
Germany.
Netherlands, you have to be careful now.
it could be Germany. That's what we're getting here on the Facebook. So it could be in Germany. But
Germany, Netherlands, so that could be. But anyway, John.
I don't think it matters where they play. It's for the U.S. team. It doesn't matter where you put them. They'll play well. And I
Even
think
if they play on the moon.
Vincenzo. Okay, let's not go too. They're going to win the next one. I mean,
The next one with you, John. The other one after that.
But they have to. They will win the next one after that because Vincenzo. It's not really hard to
Question
figure
is,
out.
will the U.S. men's ever win a World Cup in a lifetime? John?
Listen, they're going to win it because Vincenzo. They keep growing and they're going to keep bringing up good players. That's the reason. Okay, and you don't see any indication right now that they're not.
John, USA men's team, if they're going to win, not the next one, the one after that, because I think the one after
Hosting.
that, it's USA,
hosting.
Mexico, and Canada.
Canada,
Yeah.
That's the one they're getting ready for.
No, but forget about the men's. Forget about the men's. We're not talking men's soccer tonight. No men's soccer.
John
Forget.
said it before the show started. He goes, "It's a-
Vincenzo, the women, like I said, set up to win the next one coming up, for sure.
Johnny, if you have a dollar, put a dollar bet that they just win the next one.
All right, so we get that, and the teams that are coming up, we spoke. France is going to be there. The Germans will be there. Sweden will be there. The Netherlands will probably be back there
the
again.
Italians will be respected now.
All right, so those, but you want to see You want to see the first timers come back, Nigeria, Jamaica, all these other countries that were there for the first time, that got a taste of it, right? You want to see them come back. And maybe even, I think I heard some
South
talk,
Africa.
right, that they were going to expand also on the women's side.
Oh, really? Okay.
All right, so I heard they're going to expand, so we have more countries involved. All right, so that's a good thing too. All right, Thailand. All right, and even though they got hammered, right?
Yeah.
But you keep your head up, you keep fighting, you keep going. What'd you think about the 13-0, Vincenzo?
Well, Johnny, I know you want to score. If you have a chance to score 20, because the qualifying match, the first round, one goal could be could
Right.
post.
Vincenzo, back up from the microwave. We gotta get Kenny. Kenny's gonna fix that. There you go. All right. If we have him, maybe we lost him. But yeah, Roy's saying that Europe is catching up. Yeah, they're catching up, but I don't think they'll overtake the United States women's team.
Yeah,
At
it's
least
their
we
game.
hope.
It's their game, right?
Well, it's their game too, but that's okay. But we're good at it. So
Well, four times, John.
Yeah.
4 World Cups for the women.
yeah,
And who else? There's no one really
no.
near there.
No, and they're just so dominant. They're above far any other country right now, which is a good thing. But again, those games are close. Spain, they were close.
They were.
They were nail biters. They didn't win 13-5 nothing. So I think we lost Vincenzo on the phone.
Well, you know what? They mentioned Europe is catching up. Roy Romano, Europe is catching up.
Yep,
They will overtake.
They are
You know
catching up. They've closed the gap a
Well,
little, but I don't think they're going
That's
to
what's happening in every sport, John. We see it in basketball and other sports.
Yeah.
It comes a point, I mean, the United States, I don't think you'll see someone catch, tie them at 4, but, we'll see what the future ends up being. I mean, it is their sport, They are the Brazil when it comes to the women's side.
Yeah.
That's what the United States women's are. Isn't that a fair analogy?
Yeah, and probably, yeah, definitely. Well, if Vincenzo's out there, maybe he'll call back. If not, we got a few more minutes. So, to wrap up on the women's side of things, I know you're dying to get other things in here. So, I think they have a tour going on. I think it's a victory.
Can you see yourself coaching at that level?
No.
Can you see yourself like not?
Listen, it's not just a coach, right? And you got a staff,
Yeah.
right? It's not just one person I mean, everything had to fall into place for them, right? Players, you need
Well,
players.
they coach the most victories.
Jill.
The English coach for
Yeah.
she's English, right? The one that coached the United States women.
Johnny, can you hear me?
Yeah, Vincenzo, you're back. I think you were too close to your microwave at home.
Hey, no, John, microwave. What's a microwave?
All right, so Vincenzo, a couple of things that we experienced during the World Cup, with some disrespect to our flag, maybe.
Oh yeah, you're gonna bring that up. That was
You
a
know?
major story.
Yeah.
You're talking about Megan Rapinoe.
Yep. Any thoughts on that?
Well, Johnny, we mentioned before, you're playing for USA. You're playing for your country.
Yeah.
Could be any country.
Okay.
Italy, could be France, anything.
Yeah.
If the national anthem, even when you have the Italian team, every single player, the
Yeah, we're gonna
coach,
shout out. Okay.
goalkeeper to number 11, everybody, they singing loud and clear.
Right.
There was a political protest.
Yeah.
French, beautiful national anthem. The French national, beautiful.
Right.
USA, one of the most beautiful national anthems.
Mhm.
So if you're there, I don't care if you have problem with the top head or the FIFA, somebody, right now, and then afterwards,
Right.
go over the differences that you have between yourself and the organized member of the soccer, and you resolve outside. But Johnny, that's why they have to be careful because
Yeah.
now, if she started, somebody else comes along with something else. Who knows, right?
Well, we've seen it in American football with Colin
Yeah.
Kaepernick.
Right.
We've seen it
Yeah.
happen. We've seen it, in other sports.
Well, at the parade,
Then-
you mentioned the parade. Actually, before we do this, let's give a shout out to the U17 PDA national champions.
All right, Johnny.
Yes.
See, everything starts at the youth age.
Right. They just wrapped that up. I believe it was a few days ago. Roy could answer that on the Facebook side. So yeah, congrats to the PDA. Yep, U17 girls.
There's a follow.
So Vincenzo, it's just one of those things. I don't think they should use this soccer, or whatever, any sport, to discuss the political things,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
unfortunately, they do. So
sports and politics should separate things.
All right.
When you politics is one thing, sport. Because now, if you have kids watching TV,
Yeah.
right, they're gonna see something like this. What's the message you were sending?
yeah, right. Well, I know she
Yeah.
did apologize at the parade. I think during her speech at the end there, so she did apologize for something she mentioned. So, it
Well,
is
I
what
thought
it is.
that she did a great job, Rupino,
Yeah.
at the ticket tape parade, the speech that she made.
Okay.
She started but then at the end the message is there.
Yeah.
To the highest ranking officers of the soccer organization. So let's do it.
Okay. So
you don't want to do 100%, but let's put the ball in motion.
yeah, absolutely.
That even happened in the NBA one time. Sharif Abdul-Rauf a long time ago
Yeah.
during a basketball.
All right, so the PDA, the girls won that game on Saturday, the championship in Virginia. So congrats to them again. All right.
All right, John.
Okay, so Vincenzo, she is a great player, no doubt about that on the soccer field. I mean, she could score goals, obviously, as you saw, right? She won the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
So
The
she's
penalty
a
at the
great
end,
player,
Crucial goal.
and we're all for equal everything, okay? We're all for that.
Yeah,
So we're not against that. We just respect the anthem, respect the flag. That's it. No matter who's in that White House there, you just respect it, and that's it. You're playing for your country. You want to respect the anthem. and the
John,
flag.
at the country level, I would say you must respect. Now, if you don't like a club, somebody don't
Yeah.
like the manager, don't like the president of the club, maybe. But at the national level,
Yeah.
you're representing the country in France, in someplace else, right?
Well, I think last
You
year,
have to be proud.
Vincenzo, I believe she was kneeling.
Okay.
Okay.
Wasn't that, John, in the NFL, that was a
Right.
big protest,
Right.
that was a big boycott. They
Right.
were talking about boycotting the NFL because of that situation. That was a lot going on. That was a heated debate. you
Yeah,
know.
so, you know what, I think she's, 34? So I don't think we'll see her in the next World Cup.
No, she was 34, July 5th.
So she's done as far as playing, right? And the national,
No, I think John,
national team.
No, national team, I think, because 34, now
38.
you're talking about traveling, this and that,
Right.
Remember, she didn't play the quarterfinal because
Right.
she pulled a leg or
Hams-
something.
ham-
But
hamstring,
you know
yeah,
what it
hamstring.
is, John? With the United States women, even though whoever retires,
Yeah.
whoever comes in to step in their place
Yeah.
usually does
They're
well.
ready.
When
This
we
is
look
why-
at,
right, this
when
is
they
what I
won
mean.
in the 90s,
Right. So you're leading up to, again, what I
Hmm.
mentioned earlier. That's why I say they're set up to win the next World Cup. Okay, Kristen Press is her backup,
Yeah.
right? Because she came in
and she's
twice.
she's good enough to start.
She's just as good, if
Yeah.
not,
Yeah, she
just
scored-
as good.
she
We'll
scored
just
a
leave
nice-
it at
yeah.
right. So she came in,
Scored a goal.
Vincenzo, her backup, and scored a goal.
Yeah, I remember that one.
All right, and then she started the game and scored a goal within 10 minutes.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so this is why I say the United States women's team, if they don't win the next World Cup, it's on them.
hmm
It's on them because they're capable of beating anybody in the world. And this is what I said after the World Cup. Why don't they just pick 11 players out of the, just pick 11 best players in the world versus the U.S. women's team. Let's see what happens.
Also, Johnny, something
Go for
funny, if you watch USA soccer games, You know, you see these girls with the ponytails.
Yeah.
Now you see them at Dixie Parade, their long hair. I swear,
Right.
who's that girl?
Right, well, they're all dressed up, you know, like if you saw them at the ESPN,
With
the ESPN.
sunglasses, right? So
Right.
I said, wait a minute, who was Alex Morgan? Who was this guy? Who's that?
Yeah. So, Vincenzo, I think, you know, that'll be a good game to watch. Top 11 players in the world versus the United States women's team.
They should have, see, John, see that idea, I like it. What they should do, ready for this, Johnny, next World Cup, right, the team that wins, okay,
Right.
right there, in 2 days or 3 days after, you play that all-star,
Play
right?
an all-star,
You
yeah.
know, you pick up the best 16 players from other countries against the team right there and there. Like, you know,
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
Since
But-
you have the hotels, you got the food,
Yeah.
you got the soccer field, so the only thing you need for 2-3 days more, like it's all.
Just another, one more game.
Yeah, one more
Vincenzo,
game. That would be a great attraction.
so
What
let's
about
talk about.
Marta? You said this would be definitely her last one. She
Right.
was the all-time best ever, you said? You
Well, the
think? best
Brazilian, the
ever
Brazilian
to play the
player.
game?
Yeah, she was 41, Vincenzo.
Oh yeah, well, you know, she had a lot of lipstick.
Well,
you
lipstick
can see,
on,
right? Martha.
That's fine. Listen.
You know, but you can say when she was younger, you
Yeah.
can see that she was really, you know, a very good soccer player.
Yeah, I think
Even
she's.
though 41, and
got 17.
you know, she took the penalty shot against Italy.
Right.
They're like nothing, like no worry. I got
She's the
baby.
all-time
I forget.
all-time leading goal scorer.
All-time
Yeah.
leading
All-time.
goal scorer for the
Yeah,
women. I think
Martha.
men and women.
Yeah.
17 goals she has.
Yeah, Johnny, like I said, if you want to learn, if you want to watch this particular tournament, kids, I would say, all the girls, everybody, men, boys, watch the game.
You know what
you
they
learn a lot.
You know what they said about Jill Ellis?
Yeah.
She tied Vincenzo's gonna like this one. Vittorio Pozzo's record of 34-38.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
got back-to-back World Cups,
I
just
saw
like
that.
Vittorio Pozzo when he won the World Cup in 1934, 1938. Jill Ellis was able to do that.
Yeah, you know, Roy mentioned Sam Kerr from Australia. I
Yeah,
mean,
we brought her
she was kind of shut down a little bit. Well, she has 5 goals, but frustrated because her team didn't do,
Mm-hmm.
as far as they wanted to go, I guess. So, but yeah, she's definitely a
I
star.
tell you, I was watching the game. My uncle was coming over from Florida. He was so into this. He's like, "Oh, these women are wonderful."
Well,
I
yeah.
know. I didn't. I tell
Listen,
you,
if you're
it's starting to catch on a lot. Everybody's starting.
Soccer is soccer, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna like it regardless of if it's men or women that playing it. You just want to see quality games. We knew we had to get out of the group stage, right? Because we had some games there, lopsided games and stuff like that. Once we got out of the group stage, and even on the men's side, once you get out of the group stage, that's when the World Cup really starts. So.
Yeah.
Right, Vincenzo. Even on
Yeah.
once you get out of the group, that's when.
Now it's
right.
because it's one game affair.
Right, exactly. You get the pressure's on. That's it.
Yeah.
So also, Vincenzo, the weather in France, it was kind of hot out there.
Yeah, it was. This year was
All right.
very hot in Europe. France and Italy got some.
So the
Very hot
Italian
weather.
team, as well as they played, I thought they just kind of ran out of gas in the second half because we're scoreless now, right? The Netherlands, they were supposed to win the game, right? Every
Yeah.
team that they played, the Italians, the opponent was supposed to win. So now here we are, quarterfinals, 0-0 halftime. Italy starts the second half, and it seemed to me that they just came out, the Netherlands, and they pressed and
Yeah.
Johnny, Italy against Netherlands. Italy first half, if they were a little bit lucky, they would score a goal or two.
Yes.
Second half,
Yeah.
Netherlands was more, but the mistake the Italian made, there was a setup play,
Right.
right? The indirect kick,
Yeah.
they throw the ball in the area, and then
and that was it,
Netherlands girl,
Yeah.
they taller than the Italian girl, with a header. They put 2 goals in with a header.
Do you
Right.
guys feel that the Italian women will win the World Cup next, or the Italian men will win it next? Who do you think
Oh,
is going to
well.
win the next?
No,
Who's
I
gonna-
would say most likely
That's unfair,
the
I don't
women.
think.
Oh, you think the Italian women?
I say the women. Because
Will
the
win-
men,
yeah.
remember, Vito,
They're
this is
rebuilding.
your argument we had a long time ago, long time
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah.
Because in Italy,
Yeah.
a club, one Italian player, 10 foreign.
Yes,
Right.
that's been the
How
big
can you
thing.
make a team
That's
with
true.
one guy?
That's true.
So
That's
you can never do that.
so Vincenzo. You heard it here first. Make note of this, John. Vincenzo says the Italian woman will win the next World Cup before the Italian men
Yeah,
win
before the Italian
Okay,
men.
so
That's for sure.
so now you know. You keep track of it. We'll see what happens.
That,
Exactly. 4 years from now, Vito, I want to talk to you.
all right, we'll see what happens with that. All right, Vincenzo, I think that's going to be it for tonight. With
John got his wish. He he was so happy about the show, and it happened.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, it's about the women's team, and women's soccer celebration. So, we did that tonight, and next month we'll we'll catch up on everything else going on. And there's a lot, that's for sure. All right, guys.
Danny, great job again, Vito. Thank you for the invitation. And let the kids watch at least a game a week, MLS, women, whatever game.
Right.
Especially you're the coach of the Staten Soccer Club, right?
So a team in the club, yes, not the whole club.
So, let them watch, because by watching, doing this, that's how they make improvement. If you play, then you never watch a game, then it's raining, snowing, you don't play enough for another month, John, you're going backward.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Vincenzo, thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, ciao, buonasera a tutti. Ciao, ciao.
All right, guys, thank you on the Facebook side.